fact is that, okay, hey, here we go. We're gonna skin a rattlesnake. My very first attempt. And yes, Futurismo is here. This is for my grandson, Lance. So he's got to go on all of my adventures from now on. So we're doing that. So we got the head cut off. We disposed of it in the septic system. That's definitely more than 4 foot deep. And I'm gonna say this is the first time I've handled a rattlesnake. So here we go. He's cold. He was semi-frozen, but he feels like he's warming up pretty quickly here, so I don't think we'll have any issues. I watched a bunch of videos and think maybe I'm okay to do this. We're gonna find out. So, let's get all this gravel gone. So I'm told that you want to start, you could start at that end and work your way down and then back up. I'm going to start at the easy end, which I'm told is the neck, and try to get just the skin. And it seems to be separating easily. And cut it as closely and accurately down the middle as I can. Look at that cut. Oh, maybe because he's been in there so long. This is cutting really easily and feels like it's separating. I have a great pair of scissors, which I'm sure is very helpful. And I don't think this guy had anything in him that he was digesting, which is probably also helpful. So we don't have any big, like, bulges to deal with. Oop, I'm getting off center there. Although he's going to be a half band, so I guess it don't matter that I'm real accurate about this because we're going to trim a lot of this off. Although I want him to be a wide hat band and not a narrow one. So it's getting a little harder through here. Doesn't seem to want to separate quite as easily. Gotta go slowly. The further down I get here, it does get more difficult. And I'm not as squeamish as I thought I would be. So now, I think I'm getting to right where they call is the vent. I see that opening there. We're not gonna call it what it probably really is, but there we go. Okay, so I made it to the vent. So now I'm gonna open that and get to the other side of that, and we're going right through. Good job. All right. So I'm told this is the critical point. All right. And I'm still going to work right along here, right, Dana? All the way to the rattle. My good friend Dana has graciously agreed to video this for me because the guy's all wimped out, so yay, girl power, right?
Girl power.
Okay, now this, it wants to rip, so I see that. So this is where I have to separate this, right, from the membrane at the sides of this. So I got to start here, and it's very tedious. And slowly get this away from here. And of course the bugs are all coming out now. We have no bugs in Arizona till you have a dead critter, and then they all come out. Okay. I'm not seeing that musk gland. I think that's what's said is right here. I don't want to cut that open, but definitely lots of tissue there connecting that. Okay. And I want to keep this all intact, so I'm being really careful here because I want to keep the black and the white and the rattle. I want to wrap it around my hat band where a lot of them will just use this part of it. I want all of it. And in case you didn't know the story behind this guy, I stupidly opened up the studio doors to cool off the house after a very long trip. And about sunset, I thought, oh, I should go close that door. I didn't turn on any lights in the room, and I went to close the door, and it got 3/4 of the way closed and met resistance. I thought, okay, it's kind of spongy feeling. I think the rug must be in the way here. So I scooted back the rug, closed the door again. Nope. Something else was stopping that door. And I looked down, and there's this guy on the hinge side of the doorway, halfway in the house. I pretty much freaked out for a second, and then I thought, okay, he's not rattling. He must be a good king snake. Well, he got away. We thought he got outside. I went to bed, thought nothing of it, till I got up in the middle of the night. Went to go to the bathroom, and as I got right outside the bathroom door in the hallway, I heard this bark. He was welcoming me, or letting me know to get out of his way. So, yeah, I said, no, this ain't gonna work. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, cutting through all of this crap here at the end. Have you done this before, Dana?
Yeah.
Okay, am I doing it right? I'm kind of struggling here, not quite sure what I'm doing. And the sun is behind those clouds, I can hardly see.
I've never been that careful with it, so.
Oh, did you ever keep the whole thing, though?
Yeah. But
So,
it doesn't come out very nice.
oh, okay, well, I'm going to try to make it come out nice. Doesn't mean, and I'm probably going to end up, I'm trying to get around it, but I think this is where that musk gland is. This is probably going to stink to high heaven if I cut it rather than get around it, because it does not seem to want to separate here. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get beyond that. And this is where I'll have to be careful when I pull it. Okay, there, now it's getting easier. So it's right around that gland that it's really tough. And I've been told, uh-oh, I'm way off somewhere. Well, this thing got all twisted. Anyhow, to go all the way to the rattle. So that's what I'm gonna do. Go all the way to the first nib of that rattle. Oh, there we go. Almost there. Okay, it doesn't want to go at that last point. I think I got as far as I'm going to go. Okay, so, God, I can feel that bone in there. Oh my gosh, that's so weird to feel that. So, I'm supposed to peel this back from here. And I don't know what a difference it made because he sat in ice for several days rather than a freezer. But he looks like he's still going to be okay. I don't think he's rotted or anything. I don't smell anything or see anything nasty. Okay. Okay, they make this look easy. It's not quite so easy to get it started. There we go. There we go. Okay, now it's probably easy. Looky there. Look at there. Nice. This is going to be a pretty small skin, but I think it's going to be perfect for my happy. Oh, yeah. There's the places where the snake shot got him, and I did shoot him right into my brand new floor. So my brand new floor now has snake shot holes, and that's all right. Just another story to tell. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this yuck there. And we are definitely not going to eat this snake. He's been dead too long. Plus, we sprayed a little ether in the cooler to make sure that he was dead, because we thought we were going to handle him right away, and that didn't happen. Okay, this is where I got to get careful, I'm told. Because you feel resistance here, and this is where 9 times out of 10 you rip and ruin the whole thing. So I'm kind of scared about this part. All right, so we're going to do a little snip snip here. Bugs are really liking it now because we're getting all that stuff out. Yep, there, I ripped it some, so we're gonna go back and snip some more. Got any hints, Dana?
I think you're doing great.
Okay. Yeah, it wants to rip no matter what. It doesn't like coming off of that part. Ugh. Okay, that one squirted me a little. All right, carefully, carefully. So far, we're good. And it doesn't stink too bad, so I must not have, I'm not going to say it. But anyhow, so we're good so far. All right. I forget when I get here, Dana. Do I still tug? Oh, I have to separate that. Never mind. There's a bone here, plus I have to cut through all the meat. And if I cut through the meat, I don't really need to do the bone. I can break the bone, or so they say, and then I have to scrape out the leftover meat. Ah, there's the bone. Okay, so that's all we're gonna throw away. Okay, so now I have a skin. Let's see what we got. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be so pretty. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. So this guy about made me have a heart attack. And I decided, no, you are not just going back to the desert or going somewhere else. You're mine. So he went into a bucket to save for today. So now I gotta turn him over. Now that I see how pretty he is. And I have several scrapers. I'm gonna watch that there. I don't wanna tear that up. So I'm gonna scrape him and get off all this excess meat and fat and residue that's left here, because this will rot and stink and it won't tan. So I'm gonna start with the gentlest approach, which would be this credit card. And I gotta make sure I'm going the right way. You can see all of that coming off there. Gotta get all of that off. Yeah, he didn't leave any blood on my floor, but he obviously has several holes in him. So I'm not sure how that happened, why he didn't actually bleed in the room, but that's just kind of weird. And I didn't find the shot in there, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. So I've decided in my room that I'm not going to repair the floor. Instead, I'm going to take some darker stain and I'm going to go over those holes and let them show up even more. That's just another part of history with the house. Curtis Hines, who was the previous owner here and the one who initially was the first one to live on this property, would highly commend this and probably has done the exact same thing. Although I'm not so sure he'd have gone to as much trouble as I did. Men don't have the patience that women do. And I think this is going to be a very labor-intensive thing. So, and it's starting to stink a little bit here. But when I get done, so it's gone, I have my solution ready. This is 50-50 glycerin and 90% alcohol. So a 50-50 blend of those two. And I get this all cleaned up, and then I'm gonna put it in here for a week. Keep swishing it around a couple times a day. and then I'll make the hat band and we'll do another video.